Hello, it is Lord Hairwire. I'm streaming some 2D4X today. Streamed yesterday too, which was unusual. I usually don't stream on Fridays, but I had the day off, so I decided to do it. What we're doing today is we're creating these. So basically, we're working on the save system. It's a big pain in the ass. I don't like any of the options, but we had to settle. We had to compromise with myself. It was bad. What we're doing is we're taking the resources, which we have saved over here somewhere, all of these things, and converting them into DTOs, which I don't actually know what that stands for. I can't remember. What was it? There was something yesterday that someone guessed. I was about to say what it was, but I forgot about that too. A terrible memory. We're converting them to this, and then we convert them to JSON, and then we're loading them back in. And so as we go, it gets more and more convoluted. So I was thinking this morning, oh, I got to click this button. I almost forgot. I was thinking this morning before I started streaming. I woke up late, which is why I started streaming late. Well, I guess not late. The goal is before noon, so this is, before noon. Him said, how's it going? So we're what was I talking about? I was clicking around over there, getting things. I guess I wasn't prepared. We got that going. I thought I was prepared, but no. So anyways, we're making these things. We're going to go back through all of the faction data because that's what we're starting with here. We already did most of the creating from the faction data to the faction DTO, and then save to JSON, which actually I think it's this one right here. Yeah, so this is what it looks like. This is all the faction data. But the thing is that JSON only accepts simple variables, so we have to convert those. But then, and now we're to the point where we need to load them back from JSON to the DTO. And as we were going through this, there's more and more things. This is the from one that need. Oh no, we're still on the JSON thing. It's gonna be a while. Maybe this weekend. It's possible. I actually made some pretty good progress yesterday, but it is a lot of copying and pasting, and I've been making ChatGPT do all of it. I've just been like sitting back. That's what I was trying to pull over here. And just being like, create this for me. And it's been okay. Like, it actually, for the first 90% of it, it was doing a really good job, and then it just suddenly, well, it's not a bug. We're adding a new feature, which is saving it. So basically, it's because poor planning on my part. I didn't plan how we were going to do saves. And I actually, so the last week, I was saying this yesterday, I looked up and read what other people do, and there's no consensus really on the best way to do this. Everyone argues. There's a lot of arguing. Oh, you mean start all over? I could, and I've thought about it, but it would, so I'm on episode 261, and it's 3 hours a piece. So 261 times 3. Oh, just the JSON thing. So I probably could. So I've thought I probably could get back to where I was at in half the amount of time. It's still like 400 hours if I restarted completely. So that's part of the yesterday. My title is I don't like any of the options, and that was part of the thing. Was just like convert all of the resources to public classes, and then use those because we wouldn't have to have this step of the DTO step. Stingle Wings, how's it going? So there's like a ton of different ways that we can do this. So there's also how it's going to look and how I want it to work. One of the things I really want to do is be able to, let's not use perks. That's not a good example. Let's do county improvements because they're a good example wherever they are. What I really want things to, how they want them to work is that we can edit the important stuff in the inspector. You know, a lot of people are like, that's dumb, don't do that, but that's the way I want to do it. And it's also, so one of the things, and I do this much more in my other game. In my other game that my other game where I work on offline, which I've never shown you guys. When it's to a certain point, I'm going to show you guys. But that I'm much more into experimenting, and I like the experimenting is part of the fun of programming. So I'll be like, I want to do it this way, even though it's the wrong way. Even though I'll go online and everyone will be like, no, don't do it that way. I'll be like, I want to see if I can do it that way, and then I'll get it to work that way. And then sometimes, you know, I'll get it to work that way, and then later down the road it doesn't work, and I got to tear all that out and restart. But it's also like a learning experience. Too bad my memory is shitty, because if my memory was better, it would be more of a learning experience. So, you know, I looked at Unreal. I'm not ignoring your comments. I'm yammering, so I got to get caught up. I looked at Unreal. It's too unwieldy. It's huge, and I don't want to have a program that's massive. Godot is so easy to update and stuff, and I'm happy with like 75% of Godot. I was thinking about that the other day too. There's just 25% of the weird things that I'm confused why they made certain decisions. Yammer? is that like YAML? Godot is open source, yeah. It's in C++ though. So it's, I can't like help. I also don't know enough about how the engine works. You know, I do wish, I keep waiting, and my other game is a 2D hex game, but I'd like to convert it. I was going to go look it up, but I know that they decided not to implement it, but I want them to implement the 3D hex. You can do it yourself, but I'd rather have it built into the engine. That way, you know, you're going to get support and stuff. I mean, when you can do it yourself, or there's a plugin that you can use. So I think we were right around here yesterday. So this is what we're going. I'm going to go back through here, and I was like made copy paste when I had to call it a day. And an arborist coming. So let's see. We're going through. These are all going to be strings. We're going to load these in. Oh, that was the thing. Whenever I say yammer, I think that's the best term for what I do, I think, right? I feel like it is. ADD, attention deficit disorder, I'm pretty sure I have that too. I'm too old for them to have tested for certain stuff when I was a kid. I'm pretty sure I have a reading disability. I looked it up once, and I was like, yes, this is a thing. It's actually more for writing, because words don't, like, spelling is impossible for me. So let's see here. There was a thing. How is this work? Okay, this is going to go through the research list, so that one's fine. Yeah, and it matches by name. And then this was where we were at, is right here. What did we end up doing? Okay, so we got the children. Yeah, all right, I put a note in here with a typo in it. So this will work once the game's running, but it won't work after that. So then we have, oh, that's what we were doing. Here we go. We need a list of every person in the game. Like every NPC, basically. And that's where we were at, where I was like, oh my God. So we can do that. Little circles? What do you mean? Like what? I don't have any. I'm scared of heights. But I noticed that when I work construction, that kind of went away. Because I had to be up high on stuff or I'd get fired. So I just had to get over it. But the other thing that's weird with that is like I got over it and then I stopped working construction and it slowly came back. Trypophobia? Phobia. You're like, I'm scared of little circles, and then I bring it up on the screen. Irregular patterns of holes or bumps. Huh. I've never heard of that before. What is it caused by? Evolutionary and cognitive factors. Here, we'll close it down. All right, so we need a list that we were gonna save. That sounds like my ex-girlfriend, my crazy ex-girlfriend. She fell on the ground one time because we were arguing and like pounded her fist on the ground like a 2-year-old. And I often think about that. And it just, yeah. And I often think about it because it was so ridiculous. Like, you know, the standard baby thing. It's because it's just so crazy. All right, so what we got to do. So this is what we have to do. We don't have a choice. And we'll save this. All right, let's go back to our pop. We need 2 things to appear here. We already assigned them a population ID, but they're saved currently in each faction. Which thing? Getting children? Oh, this one? Because these nodes are over here. Oh, we can't look at it right now because do they exist? No, they don't exist right now. 3D Forex? Never. I don't even think it's necessary to have a 3D game, 3D part. You know, like CK3 and stuff has it, but it's not. I don't think it's necessary. So we're gonna need our population data open, and then we're also gonna need our save game. We don't need this. Not right now. Save manager, but we're gonna need to look. We can close this JSON. Here it is. So this is saved to the save file. I wonder if we tested that. We can't test it right now because there's an error. But then we're gonna also need a list of every single person in the game, every single NPC. I wonder. The idea behind this was that we can see it in the inspector, and we can, but it doesn't work. It has bad data in it. So I wonder if I should just make this a C# list of population data. And I'll put a note in here, I think. Yeah. So that's like one of the issues with this whole save thing is that there's so many like weird things with this conversion. And like I said, I could find no one who was in agreement with the best way to do it. There's 10 different ways to do it, and everyone thinks they all suck, and so they all suck. All population data list. I guess that's what we're doing here, since this one says all faction data list. And we'll do equals, whatever. We'll do this. What is your problem? The type of the X is, oh, right, we can't export it. No shit. Come on. Since we don't really need to see this in the inspector when the game is running, and since the list below doesn't even show the correct data, it is a C# list. then we're gonna. So there's a couple of things that export does. It is, if you put an export on there, it shows in the inspector, like the thing we were looking at earlier. So you can put like these have export in front of them. But if you're gonna save it as a resource to disk, it has to have export in front of it. And then there's one other reason it's got to have export in front of it, and I can't remember what it is. And so like you can't put export in front of a C# list, so that's why I had to use a Godot list for these, but this doesn't even show the right data, and I don't know why. That's happened in the past. And I remember I wasted a bunch of time trying to figure it out. I just didn't want to figure it out. Go through all that time trying to figure out why it doesn't work. And chat was very like helpful too with that. They were like, "There's got to be a reason why this isn't working." No one could figure it out, and so it was just a waste of time. So you gotta accept that life is suffering. So we on here we put. It is, but luckily this warned you. Like if this is gone, it's gonna tell me that there's a problem. There used to be this program called Code Warrior back in the day, and I remember it didn't do that. I think we need to put this in a different spot. We do. That's what we want, but it's not in the right spot. We're gonna go cut. Anyways, it didn't do that. That was like my first programming experience, and so man, the bug hunt was brutal. So we're gonna put this here. I guess it's called new population data, and then we're gonna put this here. Em said, I forget, are you a programmer? Are you a game developer? In what languages? Sounds like C++, C#. Kinda. That's how I feel too. I feel it's kinda for me. All right, so this should add this. So there's only this thing generate population is used every time we generate a population. So this should add it. Python. I like how Python looks a lot. This is back to actually the YAML thing, because it uses like indents and stuff. All right, so for this one, we're going to, and we're gonna make, what's it? Fuck, do it. What am I doing? Save game manager. What? Oh, it's save manager. Save manager. There's no game in there. It's right up there. Then we need to go through this, and I just like yesterday, I'm gonna be ultra lazy today. We need. Let's see if it remembers from yesterday, because I've noticed that sometimes it doesn't. And yesterday it was remembering things a lot better until I ran out of like free questions, and then it got stupid really fast. Can you write this for me? Let's see if it even knows what I'm talking about, because I kind of didn't give it enough info, but I guess it did. What's it doing? Wonder why it first or default. Pip? I don't know. What is pip? C sharp. No directory from pip. Oh, the package installer. You know, I remember using that. I wonder if Python's still on this computer. I try to get rid of the junk that I don't use anymore. So you're making this a Godot? It doesn't know that this thing is a. Maybe it should be consistent. It's made this a Godot list, and then we're going through all. Oh wait, is this a Godot list? It just says array, so usually JavaScript has that similar thing. So I think that should work. We're gonna run into a ton of bugs when we run this. And then what the fuck is this thing? This, I think the faction leader is a bool from the good old days. A bool. What about this part? Oh, it's using that out thing. Convert string ID from DTO to an int, since population ID is an int. So it's using the all population data still. See, I think this is going to take a while. Because we're going to have, right now, we have like, well, we have less right now, but we're going to have like 80 or 90 in our test people. But we're going to have thousands, 1,000 people or something. When we actually do it. We'll just copy this without even looking at it and put it in here. Fuck it, right? DTO faction leader. So what is the problem with this DTO here? We're going to have to come back to all these. So whoops, we probably needed that. This we're done with. We don't need these right this second. Let's just clear off some of this crap. And then we'll rebuild our list of never-ending dog shit. What are your guys' plans today, chat? You guys got anything exciting going on? Faction DTO. What do we got here? Faction leader is what we're looking for. It's an int. So then why did it have a problem over here? Oh, right. We can't, this is an int. It can't be null or empty. See, I listened to it. There has to be a faction leader as well. Faction leader is an int. It can't be null or empty. Oh yeah. If it's greater than 0, it can be 0 though. Because it can be 0. Because we're using it to pull the array. It's an ID. So it could be 0. You mean -1, you dork. It means -1. That guy yesterday came in. If it's greater than -1. He was very upset that I was using ChatGPT, I think. And that's like we're back to the dev brain conversation. Um, and I think he downvoted the video, which is funny because on YouTube, any interaction is good. So if you see something that you dislike on YouTube, what you want to do is have no interactions. Don't look at it. Don't upvote. Don't downvote. Just stay the fuck away from it. Don't look at the guy's profile. Just stay away from it. Completely avoid it. That's the best thing you can do on YouTube if you want to impact them. Like, downvoting helps. It's actually a good thing. So if you get a ton of downvotes, it actually boosts because it's considered an interaction. So the letter's bigger than 0. Well, it's an int, so it's just a number. Because we have to. Is this right? What are we doing? We're going from to faction data. This isn't right, I don't think. Because we need this to pull. Oh, no. Okay, I see what it's doing. If leader. Okay, this is for a second there. I thought we were going 42 Biro. Thank you for the follow. How's it going? This looks right. I mean, like I said, we're gonna run into 1,000 issues when we do this. I wonder why. I wonder why it changed that from a C# list to a Godot list. Anyways, well, like I said, the debugging of this is going to be brutal. So all county improvements, we do have this. What are we adding this to? All county improvements. This is all county improvements that the faction can do, though. Maybe we should rename that. I'm pointing at it with my hand, which is not very useful. That over there. Okay, let's look at this. So faction data, let's go up to the top. I'm pretty sure. This node is not very useful. I gotta remember how this works. I think this is this is like a path of I'm almost positive because we don't need if it's really all county improvements, which I don't think it is, then we don't need this here at all because we can pull that from our list of all county improvements. What I think this is a list of possible county improvements that this faction can do because they have researched the research. So there is it's called like complete research or something. I think that's what it's called, actually. There was a time, yeah, it's right here. I remember this thing was was an issue at one point. Complete research. Yeah, so this goes through the research and it adds it. So this should be an all hallmaster does something to it. Yeah, so this is for all county. It's not really all county improvements. We should rename this while we're here. That's the other thing that's been happening is I'm running into these small little things and I've been fixing them or whatever. All known county improvements. All faction known county improvements. There we go. And we'll go back down to this DTO madness. And for this, we're going to go for each improvement name in faction DTO. Because I had to save this as a string, but we need to convert it back into a Godot resource. We are going to do this laziness to auto load. Yeah, I'm just going to go full. Laziness mode. Whoops. It was suggesting the right thing. But I don't think we, yeah, I don't think we had, when I wasn't showing it there, are we not loading these from disk? Oh, look at that. We didn't load these from disk ever. How the fuck was I getting them? Well, we gotta fix that. All right, maybe not this weekend. Were we loading them from disk at like some different time? This is actually an auto load. Do we have auto load open? We're in auto load. Wait, how are we getting these things? Faction generation is what we will look at next here, because this is where they would be added. I wonder if I'm doing... I'm wondering if I am doing it here. F, Control F, County Improvement. Assign researched county improvements. Oh, that's why. Okay. So the reason why there's no... It's back to that thing we were just looking at. So basically the reason why there's no list of county improvements at all is because they're all attached to research. Like if the research is done, they're literally attached to it. So what we'll do is we do have a folder of county improvements. So I hypothesized that we could make a list of a bunch of stuff and just save the list of a bunch of stuff. And that would help our save game thing. This is where we can, this list here. And it might make the save game better if we just had a list of everything. But I did not know that we would be forced to do that, because that is what is happening, is we're making a bunch of lists that are forced. We're being forced. Skill directory, skills, directory, go away. Interests, research, goods, perks. Research is already plural. This is, what order is it? This is in no order. Nice. Let me double check something over here. All right, perfect. I guess we'll just stick it right here. Private, string, improvement, improvements, directory. This is called county improvements, though, I'm pretty sure. Well, let's look. Yes, with a space. And one of the cool things that Writer actually will do, not this time though, there we go. It will actually bring up this list. And then we want a slash at the end. So then we're going to go down to here. And this runs every time you run the game. Oh, I didn't make the list yet. I was like, what is going on? This is a C# list, huh? The reason I called that improvements, I have a feeling we're going to rename county improvement data to improvement data at some point, because I can't think of a reason to have faction-wide improvements, because they don't make any sense. And then this one, I didn't do it. Ah, fuck it, who cares? Read resource from disk. Whoops. Improvements directory .cast county improvement data. I'm trying to be more forward thinking here. with my code. It's not really working, but all right. So this is going to read these all from disk. Now we have this here when we run this. So this is going to be just like we did here. So this is now working. We'll just say, hey, ChatGPT, do this. Can you do this one too? Yeah, right. Don't ask it, just tell it. It's not a human. We got to keep our minds from thinking that this thing is a human, because we don't want to develop feelings, not as in love feelings. So this one, research offices. It's kind of a bummer that this is the way we have to do this, but I guess there's no choice. Research offices are a county improvement that people can work at. Let's look at this. Did I go past it? I went past it. Researcher's office. I think people can, yeah, I can have one person working there. So we save. So this one we can't, oh shit, I don't think that's going to work. We can't do that with the county improvements either that we just did. It doesn't do us any good because it can have stuff saved to it. Okay, that's not going to work. Let's put some notes in here. So we need to actually pull the DTO. We need to repopulate the data for that. The population one will work. We could save that specifically as a separate thing, right? And maybe that's what we need to do with all of these. Oh, this isn't going to work either. Because, so the problem with this one is that, like, if you were half done with some of this research, it wouldn't know. Yeah, this is going to work. Well, I'm glad I noticed now. Let's start at the top. Let's get rid of this to do. And we'll make, we need to get the actual saved JSON info from disk for this, because the research items are unique. So this one, because the resources are unique. This one needs to have that. Researchable research doesn't, because they haven't been researched, so that nothing's been done to them. This will work for now, but it's not. We need to put a to-do on this so that I come back to it. We're going to have to save this differently as well. I should have done this earlier. All hero data, this is going to pull from the list of population, which we are going to save, so that should be okay. We could have done, I'm glad I thought about this, that it just dawned on me. This one's going to be different too. Whoops. And then research offices is going to be good. Yeah, we're going to have some hellish. We haven't even got to this hellishness. But I think this one, so the goods that I copied you, the goods are going to also have amounts. I think. Yeah, this is gonna be some heavy refactoring, but I think we'll have better code in the long run. Fingers crossed there. War, we don't really give a shit. Well, we do give a shit. But we'll deal with that. These ones, no, war should be fine because those are faction. And then these ones too, even though this has a var in it. Fix this var. To do, fix this var. Garbage. Capital var garbage. Man, we're definitely not going to be done this weekend. I was, had a glimmer of hope that has been dashed. Okay, so back to our first problem. And maybe we should do this for all, and we can do it with the people too. We wouldn't need the people list. I don't know. We need to get to the... Okay, so for research items, how are we saving that to DTO? To DTO. I think it's above. Like I put it above. From DTO to DTO. So these are the simple ones. Now we get into the crazier shit. Convert research items. See, they have names. So we can't do this. We're adding this. We're pulling it from a thing. You know, each one of these are unique, so we need to save. Each research item is unique. So when we are saving, when we are going to DTO, we need to save the actual, save all the data in the research item. So we want a research item DTO that captures all exported. Yep. Maybe because we got to do these things anyways. I think we already started with the research item DTO too, but maybe we haven't. We were jumping all over the place yesterday because we were like, I felt like we were making good progress, but now I see that, well, no, we were. Where the fuck is this? Perks. We're in the wrong spot. Public classes. Oh, did I bury it inside of... No, I didn't. Where's my DTO folder? Scripts, DTOs. We do not have research item yet. So let's add a new one. We're going to need all these anyways, so who gives a shit, right? This is going to be called research item DTO. No, were we doing capitals? We were not. Because why? Why would we do such a thing? Research item DTO. And then, did it just pull this shit out of its ass? It did pull this shit out of its ass. So, let's... here is the research item data. Like I said, lazy today. And the one problem, you know, you could do that to JSON thing, JSON included or whatever, or you can do it this way to make it serialized or whatever. The one problem is it does get confusing because it's very similar, you know, the caps versus the non-caps. Copy this. We're going to put this here. We're going to namespace this thing. Would you stop it? Player space. And then we're going to use this list here. All right. All right, so this is going to be enums, and we'll save those as strings. And then this we're going to have to see. It doesn't like that I called it. I liked putting the S on the end of datas. I don't know, but it doesn't like that. Fine, we'll get rid of this. Then we're going to need this other thing. Yeah, we're going to need this. No, except it's doing it weird. Occasionally it does this weirdness, and we have to fix it. And if you tell it it's weird, it goes, oh yeah, you're right. So this one, we're going to have to put in the research item data along with all this other crap right here. It can't be static because we want this specific stuff. We don't want this crap. And what did we do? Yeah, this is what we did last time. So it's speaking of it getting confused. Here it is getting confused. We're making a new DTO. That's right. We should probably have some sort of path for the texture. County improvement data is this one we can pull from that list. Or via name, because at this point, this research item, they're not unique. Prerequisites are... Do we have... I don't remember doing a prerequisites. I think this is an alphabetical order. There we go. Well, that's not there. Let's go back and look at this here. So we have the faction, we have the tier, we have the skill, we have the research at start. That's a bool. We have the name, we have the description, we have the amount, cost. So for this, we could pull the texture. The texture is not unique. So we could pull, we'll do auto load instance dot all, it's giving me grief. No, what is it? Space, control space, no suggestions. It's all something. We can do this. Whoops. We can do this. Good God, what am I doing? Auto load. I just want this in here so when I put it over for ChatGPT, it can. Because like I said, we're going full lazy today. Just like yesterday. It worked out quite well. For this part, we actually can pull the texture from this list of research items. Yeah, so we don't need to save the path. Did I copy the wrong fucking thing? Research texture path. No, I don't want to see the from yet. We'll get to the from. Let's bring this over. Let's bring this over and see what it's doing here. Oh, I missed a semicolon in a thing there. But that doesn't make any sense. It got confused, I think. What is up with this thing? No texture save. We'll reload from, what is this doing? This thing is, it's this, what is this part? Wait, what? Did it just delete? No, I don't want you to do anything right now. It always asks, do you want me to do this? This is not right. Well, look up the matching texture from loading the DTO by matching the research name. That's not what this is. It's going to the improvement name, but we're talking about the research texture, not the county improvement. What is it doing? We are talking about the research texture. Oh yeah. We're already loading all the. No, we can't do that. We're already loading all at runtime. We don't need to serialize the texture at all. Oh. Instead, well, what do we need to oh, okay, I see what it's saying. Okay, all right. It's not wrong. It's saying, fuck that, just get it out of here. And then when we do from is when we pull this in. And so it's saying this is what it's replacing. It just moved this up. That's exactly what it did. It just moved this up. It just deleted it, but it decided, I did one time and I don't know if this is because I kept telling it, because generally what is going on here too? It's like jammed over to the side somehow. What? KD. This is bad. KD. There we go. Okay, I see what it. So a long time ago, it would always just give me like one line, and it would put like dots above and below, like this is where this goes, and I'd be like, you can't. I don't know where this goes because it's just dots, man. And so I told it to be more verbose, but I think. Okay. So, but I don't think it remembered that. I think it's been, because it doesn't remember very well. So here we go. We're back to this thing again. This is let's go back up here. I've been thrown off. So that will, when we load, man, we're going to have to go back through the DTO thing too again. Research DTO. Research item DTO. We don't need this. This is gone. Research path. County improvement. Research prerequisite cost. Yep, that looks right. Then in this, we're back to so this we just got rid of the texture thing. We'll put that in there. Man, when I know that this is going to, at some point, I'm going to forget to add a variable back to these DTO things, and it's going to be very brutal. All right, so back to this, to DTO. Convert county improvements to names or IDs. So this part, is also not unique. We can pull this. We can pull both of these. So these parts are unique. I guess actually the name isn't. So the only thing that's unique, honestly, is the amount of research done in this DTO. The rest is the same. The faction ID. The faction ID and the amount of research done is the only thing that's actually unique in here. The rest can all be pulled from the cost won't change. I guess it could change. But the prerequisites in the county improvements are not unique. Maybe we should be paying more attention to that. The tier won't change. The skill won't change. There's no interest in here. The interest data won't change, which is missing from here. Which is I wonder how many other things got forgotten by ChatGPT. What did I say earlier in the stream? That it was 95% correct? 85% correct? It's going down as we use it. Okay, so let's do this. Let's look at this. I'm wondering, so the reason why I keep staring at cost of research is, so the plan is this cost of research, it wouldn't change, but what if they get like some sort of debuff? Like, we haven't even thought about this, but what if they get some sort of debuff? Their faction leader is bad at research and it adds a 10% debuff to or adds 10% damage, or not damage, 10% cost to research. So that would change this research, but would we... Let's not say that's unique, because we'll have to deal with that when we write it. Okay, so with this, let's tell ChatGPT to change this. So the only two things is faction ID and amount of research done. We'll pretend like we're nice to it, but fuck this thing, right? Don't get feelings for it. Actually, the only parts of research item data that will be unique are the faction ID and the amount of research done. The rest can be pulled from the all research items list. I'm listening to Conflict. I've mentioned this before that I'm like this band. I stumbled back across them a long time ago, and not a long time ago. I stumbled back across them recently, and it's like it's seriously like being back to be a teenager. And it's also with the way our world is currently. It's interesting to listen to old punk rock because a lot of this stuff applies again. Like, for a while, it kind of only half applied. Now it's like back in full force. And I'm also like watching Mr. Robot, so it's like revolutionary thoughts are running through my mind at every second. Okay, so we need to go over to this thing, and we need to get this thing smaller. And then we need to add in our namespace again. And so there we got that. This is just a little guy now, because everything is the same over here. Then we go back over here. Yeah, here's our little to-do. I keep calling it to-do, but it's to DTO. And this one's static? It can't be static, dickweed. Maybe it can. Did we put this in? If we pass this in, I don't think we. Yesterday, and I already forgot. Yesterday I was like, you can't make these static, and then we figured out why they were doing it, and I've already forgotten the reason why it can be static. We're passing it in, but if we put this in, I want it to be somewhat consistent. What was that yesterday? Equipment data? Definitely not faction DTO. My brain's not working here. Let's replace this. Research item data. And then we just do this. And then we'll just do dot. We'll put the research item that we have, and we'll put dot to DTO, and it will convert this. What was the deal with the static? I can't remember. Why? This was yesterday. Yesterday. One day, and I already can't remember. I am doing it like this. In the research, I want to see what it says. Data. And if it's like, no. What? What? No. Yeah, what? But Judas told me to do it a different way. Fucking piece of shit. Now we just need the from DTO. Also inside. All right, let's see what this thing does. Except this one's what is it? It's lying to me, I feel like. All right, you need a thing in here. There we go. Alt, enter. Look up the base template from the master list. So that's what we want it to do. It's going to pull this by name, I'm assuming. Yes. And then if the base item is equal to null, we say, you're fucked. Then we make a copy so we don't overwrite the master data. Okay, so this is, wait. Does it know that I have a new copy thing in there? I must have copied and pasted that in there. That's the wrong thing. It does. I hope it has everything in there. I don't know what this shit is. Get it out of here. That's my rule. So what I do is I comment out stuff, and then once I see it again later and I go, what the fuck is this? I just delete it. So hopefully this, like I said, has all of the correct things in there. All right, back to our from, which is up here, which is right in front of my face. We're going to make a new copy. Apply unique save data. Aren't you missing something? Oh, then it added the name, so it saved the name. I noticed this earlier, like a few minutes ago. I was like, oh, why is it saving the name? It's saving the name so that we can pull this shit at it, so it's saved to disk. so we can figure that out. Okay, so this looks right. So this is the name I was talking about. And this returns this new research item DTO. So then we go back to here. No, we do not go back to there. Go back to here. And this to do, so what is the unique stuff in here? Yeah, I think these are all going to be unique. Yes, all of these are unique. Wonder, why does it do this to me? I wish it would not do that. I swear I fixed that like 6 times. Here it is again. Yeah, all those are unique. So we deal with faction data. They're all whatever. So we have this convert research items, assuming they have. So this is our. We're back to the to wait. Where are my notes and my to-do notes? I guess this is. This should be up. Wait. Faction DTO to DTO from DTO. This stuff actually needs to be up here. All right, so research items. So this one, and it may have already written this, but we'll just ask it again, even though we do have a limited number of things. Oh my God, I was looking at the clock from when I was going to take a break, and I was like 5 minutes till, and then I glanced again, now we're 7 minutes over. I'm going to take a break right after I pass this in here. So how does this work now? All right, I'm gonna take a quick break. I'll be back in less than 5 minutes. Let me throw my break timer and let me throw up my, or pause my music you can't hear, and I'll be right back. Back. Before my timer was up. Went fast. Let's see what we got here. Turn this off. Turn my music back on. Looking at something on Reddit on my phone. Let's see if I can find it. Just because it's... Marrow. Oh, this one's from 5. That's funny. It's been recycled. Oh, and it has a different name. How funny is that? I'll show you guys in a second. Oh, it's been posted like 100 times. Let's see if I can... Oh, this has different captions. Okay, so I'm going to bring this over here. Make sure I'm not signing anything weird. Let me bring my chat back up. Or don't worry, we're still going to program. So I was looking at my phone, which is a different story. So on my phone, it was titled God's Camaro. But I was talking to one of my friends. I don't have a car, and I don't plan to get one. But someone was mentioning that my friend was like, "You should get a car." And I was like, "The only type of car I want is like a Mad Max car." And I just saw it's actually in the Mad Max subreddit, which we can look at next real quick. But this is funny because they were doubting the story in Mad Max, but I put in God's Camaro because I thought I'd bring up. I thought that was the name of the title of the post that I was just looking at. So it's, this is all bullshit, but the car looks cool. Let's go to the Mad Max subreddit here. It's got to be because they had a bunch of pictures of it right here. I make this big. So who knows what the real story is behind this? But look at this car. Like this is if I had to get a car. Look, it gets better and better as it goes along. Like look at this thing. Yeah. So that's his. Yeah, this whole story is bullshit. It's crazy on Reddit how much misinformation there is. He's got spiked gloves for his God's Camaro. Look at it. It's getting better. It's got like I don't know what's up with that. Look at this RAM plate. There we go. This is what I want. If I ever decide to get a car with a RAM plate on the front. I don't know. I don't know why you would paint the whole engine black though. I mean, it looks cool. I wonder what this stuff is. Primitive GPS. Oh, he has a pipe. Get the fuck out of here. Okay. Anyways. All right. What are we doing? Oh, yeah. We told this thing to rewrite this one part. Let's see what it did. Now that you moved a to-do to it, you won't just add the research name anymore. You'll actually, you'll serialize, yes. It becomes... Okay, so is this going to work? I really wish I could test this right now. I wonder if I can. We're not showing any errors. For each to string, so this is, we need to change this DTO list. So this needs to be faction DTO. Right here. And then we can do the little bracket thing. ChatGPT is not into the brackets. I don't know if it's because it's a newer version, it's stealing its data from older information or what. Okay, so I wonder if we can run this and what will happen. No, we still have an error here. What is the error? This is in the from DTO. Did you give us a from DTO just because being lazy? Laziness works sometimes. What did you actually put here? Loaded item from DTO. I haven't updated from DTO though, I don't think. For the did I? No, I did. Let's look. We did. I think we need that list still there. That initialization of that list. Was it really that short? I felt like we just deleted a bunch of stuff. It was that short. What did I just delete? I think I deleted too much. I did not. Okay. Now, can we run it? I'm just curious what will happen. We're probably going to get 7,000 errors here, but I want to see what it spits out. At this point, it's supposed to spit out something. Skill DTO. This is in population data. Have we not done our skill DTO yet? We have not. So let's create our new script. Skill DTO. And then let's go. We may have already asked ChatGPT to do this. Skill DTO. Do you want me to write? It doesn't look like we did it. So then we need to go to our skill data here. Pop this puppy open. And that's going to be up here. And we'll copy. What is all this? Oh, right. Yes, I know what all that is. Why is there a big space here? Get rid of that. Save that. Go back over here. Go back to ChatGPT. Can you write the skill DTO for me? Once again, asking it when I should be telling it. So it's only doing those things. This is unique. I need to tell it what's unique. Skill level is unique. Amount learned and skill level are the only two things that are unique. The rest are, we can pull from the list. Skill level and amount learned. Amount until, did that say learned or level? Okay. I think it should be level, but are the only unique items on there. The rest can be pulled from autoload.instance. Whatever we called it. All skill. What did we call it? I hate having to switch back and forth. All skill data. But I also have made this pretty consistent. Yeah, so I think we should be telling it every time this. It's a lot less data to be dicking around with. So we can go to here. We can put a namespace in here. player space. I don't give a shit about namespaces. Yeah, they're all unique. This is, but we need this to be able to pull from it. So there's our skill DTO. It's quite basic. And then over here, we're going to go copy this. We're going to put this in our skill data. We'll put it above all this garbage. And then we're going to go, here's our from, where we pull it from. We're going to put this over here. You don't know what auto load is? Missing the reference. That's fine. Make a copy so we don't modify the share. So this is interesting. We don't have a we don't, in skill data, we don't have new copy like we did in that other one, which I guess we don't generally make the copies. Maybe duplicate worked. It works sometimes because those, it probably was the things that weren't getting duplicated. Actually, let's look at this. Yeah, duplicate probably worked because these are all simple whatevers. What does this from thing look like again? I just want to double check it. This one's static. I wonder why it does this static sometimes. And I figured it out yesterday. I was like, oh, it's because of this. And then now I'm like, why don't we get rid of this and then do that? Oh, because we're going to pass in a different one? Why can't we just put the dot at the end? Dot from DTO. This is because then we can just pass in. Oh, do we not know what that is? I guess I'll put it back, but it seems unnecessary. So if we're getting whatever, we'll narrow it down later. Wait, will we? Or will we do it right now? So it's going to parse this enum. All right, so this, and we would have to put the, okay, I see what's going on. We would have to put this in the DTO. Did we do that on the other ones? No, the DTOs are all just, let's look at the faction DTO. I see, yeah. So we're keeping everything in faction in the data thing. Okay, so that's why we need that one to be static. I try to understand what this thing is telling me. All right, so we have our skill DTO. Why the fuck were we doing that? Because we got this error, which now it should be taken care of. And then we'll run this. I don't remember what our base start is. So then we have an interest one. Interest. Interest by interest name. This is in population data. This is 2. Did I do something dumb like just say name? This should be interest type. We're pulling this from the data. What did I call this? Oh, we're in population. Interest data. Let's take a look at that one. We're gonna have a lot of dog shit open here. I guess it's not dog shit. We're gonna have a lot of stuff here. Oh, I see. I did do it. Look at that. I didn't follow my own rules. So my rules are not to name this name or The reason I do that is because there's sometimes it gets weird when not weird, it gets confusing. It'd be nice if I could just do name, and that's what I've tried that a couple times, and then it gets weird because capital N is a different name than lowercase n. So that's why there's other reasons too, but I can't remember them because that's how I roll. Can't remember shit. 2DTO. This thing needs to be back to interest name. I wonder if we broke something else. In fact, I think we did. We just broke all of our interest. Let's build this and take a look. You got to be consistent, right? That's the man. Minor Threat is playing now in my ears, and it's been a long time. I'm back to being a teenager, just wanting to eat sandwiches. Yeah, so all of these broke because I did that. So let's fix these real quick. Actually, we can do this. 2D, 4X. This doesn't need to go over here yet. This does, though. That's probably why I didn't want to change that, but it's broken now, so let's just do it. Interest. I see a description here, but I don't see a description. I don't see a description over here. Maybe I didn't put a description in yet. We'll search for it after this. It would have been called interest description. Plastic bullets. Oh, you guys can't hear what I'm listening to. Politics. What an interest. Warfare. We're gonna need a. No, we don't. You know, we're gonna need a DTO, but it's actually it's just gonna be their name. Let's look for Yeah, I don't have an interest description. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna create that right now. Might as well. We're just really tearing through shit. So let's actually copy all of these. And the good thing about having the keys like this is that we can put them in and just put some dog shit in. I keep saying dog shit today. Garbage. What is going on here? We can just put some garbage in and fix them later. And we'll go description. Then we can copy this. And we just click in here. So what we can then do is just put like whatever here. The interest of biology. Period. The interest of, yeah, just do it. Yeah, perfect. And then we'll copy this and we'll go to translate and come on. Then we'll do this. Oh, we got to go over to here though. Whoa. We're using Spanish as our test language, but I don't know Spanish besides like 4 words. So a real Spanish speaker will probably have to go back through. We'll have to like hire someone or something. Someone in the community The community for the game that will never be finished. I was thinking about, whoops, we're in warfare. I was thinking about like how many developers work, how many developers work on a strategy game, how many developers work on, how much time it takes, like EU4 or 5 or whatever they're on now that they're about to release. Well, I don't know if about is the right word that they've mentioned exists. Like how many years and how many developers work on that, and here I am, one dude working on it 6 hours a week. It's gonna take years, I'd say. Warfare. Let's see. How long did EU4 take to develop? I wonder if this will bring me up something. 18 months? I mean, that was before they released all of the hundreds of DLCs that you have to pay for. Man, they do some shady shit with EU4 DLC. So I was playing EU4 last night. I'm back to playing it, and I got some tech. I researched some tech or whatever, and it said can now drill troops. And I was like, what is that? Drill troops? I don't remember that being an EU4 thing. So then I looked it up, and it's like you have to have this special DLC that's $20 to drill your troops. But I didn't have it. So why did it tell me that I could do that? Because it wanted me to buy the fucking DLC. $20 to be able to drill my troops. Okay, we fixed that. Let's close this thing. Let's make sure this is saved. And let's go re-import this. And let's go back to here. What were we on? Let's just run it and see what happens. Because I mean, whoops. I don't even know what thing I ran. I think I don't know if that was the right thing. This is the one we want to run. You can set which scene you want to run in when you hit play in Godot, and I don't remember which one I have set, but we want the generate. So wow, it actually finished. Let's go to our app data. Hopefully we won't have to go into the localization again. There's save games, 2D 4X saves. Let's look at our JSON here. Well, we definitely got something. So here's our research items. Do we have this in the next faction thing? All right, here's our faction 1. I don't know if we even need faction ID on there. It does apply, but we could apply it later. Yeah, let's not worry about it. This is fine. Amount of research done 100, 0. This is being set because of that complete thing that we looked at earlier. This faction leader is 0. I have a hard time believing that. Let's go back. Let's go to the next. So we're in faction ID 2. Yeah, this faction leader is 0 as well. That doesn't seem right. It's not right. It's what the reason why this is not right is because actually it looks like there's a number of issues here, which is not unexpected. Does like the player faction have a faction leader? How big is this file also? It's not that big. Yeah, I was playing Hawaii and EU4, which is surprisingly, no, I guess unsurprisingly very boring. And it said that my save was 47 megs. And I wondered why it was so large, because I was actually paying attention. What am I scrolling through here for? Yeah, we're gonna have to. This is gonna be a lot of fixing. We're not like done with what we're doing. So here's this. Yeah, the faction color isn't coming across right too. They're always all because we haven't assigned it yet. When we do, so when we do the player, we need to move. We need to move a bunch of shit. But this, I think we should. This should have already been. Actually, I'm not sure. Faction generation. No, it hasn't been assigned yet, actually. At faction generation, the whatchamacallit hasn't been assigned yet. And so this is back to that, we were just looked at that in the save file, like, why was this saved here? But I actually don't know why we're doing that, but we must be at some point checking something on the, depending on the faction ID, which is weird. I'll leave that to do in there. Yeah, so we actually haven't assigned the faction leader yet. So we need to start now. Because we didn't get enough heirs. We need more heirs, basically, is what's going on there. We should have gotten like tons of bugs at this point. And we didn't get any bugs. So there's something else wrong. You know what I mean? Like it's not I didn't see that. I didn't see this Omnipop follow thing. Well, thank you for the follow. It didn't. Was I gone? Was I sitting here? It says 1 minute ago. I didn't get my little notification. Sorry. 38 people. That looks right. Okay, so this is the problem. This worked too well. And we know that that means that there's other issues. So what we're going to do is we're going to start moving more things. So there's two things that we're doing here. I can just show you. We need a start menu, which we have, where we can start the game, or we haven't even messed with this at all yet, where we can start the game. It goes to this generation, which is what we've been starting. So this is, wow, that took kind of a while. So it's supposed to generate the game. It's also supposed to tell us what it's doing, but I saw nothing. I saw nothing up there. And then it saves it to disk, and then this opens. And so if the game crashed, let's say, my game will never crash, so let's not say that. Let's say you had to stop playing. You can hit escape, and, there's no exit button, so you can't. You got to play the game forever. Not only will my game never crash, you got to play it forever. So anyways, let's say you exited out of this. The game would be saved and ready to go for the next time. What we're trying to do after this, though, is this save button, which it doesn't work right now. And we're going to get rid of saving in fact, we could do that now. Yeah, let's do that now. Let's really break things. So currently in the saving game thing, let's close all this crap. We're going to be redoing. We're going to have moving stuff around and doing things. But let's close all this because we just have too many things open. The save manager we need. Spawn main game. This is... Yeah, we don't need that, right? Let's look at this scene. Yeah, so I just put these in here kind of to break things up so it saves it and then it spawns the main game. We don't need this right now. This doesn't actually really do. This is all it's ever going to do, I think. We need these three things, and we need this. So currently we have for save file to disk, we have this resource saver in here. We shall Now destroy it. We don't need that. We're not going to be using that anymore. So we are going to be having... Huh. that was unrelated to anything. Anything that's important here is basically have an app that's supposed to run down here that is not. So we're going to save this, and then when we get to this main game, where did we? Okay, it's this initial load game. We're currently on ready. It's loading the game every time. We probably don't need to do that. If you hit, we want it to save, but we don't need to load it again, but we want this here. In fact, I'll put a note in this. I have the thing in globals already. Load game at start. So if we just put if globals instance dot load game at start, and then we'll KD that thing, and then we'll save that. We'll go over here, we'll check this, we'll save this, we'll go back to here. Well, we have our save game already saved. So if we play this, I got to figure out which thing is playing. And it should implode here because we don't have enough from DTOs set up. It should just... Okay, we have our load game is set up wrong. Back to load game. Check for save folder. Perfect. Okay, so here is our save game data. We're pulling this from the research or from the resource thing, so which we don't. That's not going to do us what we want to do. We need to apply this. This information needs to be populated, not with this. So this needs to go away. I guess we can just get rid of it, right? So we wrote a little method that's check for save folder, and then this I don't think we need open anymore, for now at least. Where did we... Oh, there was something else I just remembered I wanted to do, because I saw it in a code review for Pirates thing. We want to have a private float, I think? Save version. And we're going to just manually stick this shit in here. And we're going to go 0.01. Can we do that? With an F? All right, so it's going to save. Well, we have to convert this to JSON. So what is this? This is our save data. So we need to turn this. What does our save do? Let's go back to our save file to disk. And let's move this up, I think. Because we're going to be looking at this a lot. So currently we're only saving the faction DTOs. So we're converting all of these. Then we serialize this thing here. So I'm going to take this, copy this to Notepad, And then I'm going to put this in Notepad above it. Once again, I'm being as lazy as possible here. And it's so far, it seems to be working out. And we need to update this to save everything in the save game data. I would like it all in one file, one JSON file. The best way to is to introduce a save game DTO that contains also. Wait, what about our save game data? We can't use that? Because this will convert every population data infection into DTOs. We can't use our save game data. I'm thinking here. I'm in deep thoughts here. Oh. How are we? Oh, we were creating a new one before. Because we had that one. What a pain in my ass. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. Everything is going to be the same. We'll copy this. We'll create our new DTO over here. Luckily, we'll only have to add everything to 2 things, right? Fuck is going on? Yeah, if I'm back to the car thing. If I was to get a car, I'd want it to be some sort of apocalypse mobile. I used to have a Chevy Blazer, 1976 Chevy Blazer, that was just this big piece of shit. And it was all set up for the apocalypse. And I mean, set up as in it, it had a RAM plate. It was all beat up. And no, just put it in there. Oh, fucking no. There we go. But it was such a gas guzzler. All right, so we're going to make all right, this all makes sense. And then these are ints, and this is a float, so not a big deal. Let's convert this thing. Yeah. I've told ChatGPT 10,000 times that I'm using whatchamacallit. And then we'll put that 8. I'm using C#8. We'll copy this thing. And we're going to stick this over. At this point, I'm used to all this to and from garbage. And then we're going to go back from here. Add from. This is the static thing because we have to, yeah. And I haven't created a from. See, this is what I was talking about with we're going to run into like a bunch of errors because some of these I did yesterday and some I didn't. This is actually surprising that we only have one. So let's open up our population data. That is not our population data. Population data. All right, open up our population data. Did we start working on this? And then there's our 2. We did not. So let's look at population data space from DTO. Here it is right here. We're going to copy this puppy. We're going to go put it right here. Wait for the errors to show up. all faction data list. Why can't you do this? Because we need you to add auto load in here. No, auto load's in here. All faction data list is not here. Oh, we put it in save game data. It was like, what was the point of having it there? Save game manager dot. Okay, maybe I was wrong. Save game data. Instance. Save game data. All right, so there's that one. This is gonna be the same thing. We changed this somewhat recently. Now I don't know what the fuck I'm listening to. You guys can't hear it. I wish I could make it so that you guys could hear it, but I don't. You know, they got all the issues, all the issues with copyright and stuff. It says the auto mod stop something. Somebody's spamming viewers. Spamming viewers. Check something real quick. While we wait for this. Oh, I think I put list at the end. I did. Twitch. Okay. What else we got? We got one more from DTO. All right, so we have to do this. Oh man, they have all this. I hate these when they just put the. All right, but we need attribute data. Needs a from DTO. We don't have a to DTO in here. Did I stick it at the bottom? Oh, I did. Right now, let's keep these at the top, just because that's what we're dealing with. So then let's go back to ChatGPT. View data from DTO. So let's fix this. So this 2DTO, this is another one that is only is not that unique. It only has that one thing that's unique. So let's, for the attribute DTO, which I don't have open. We'll go back over here. The attribute DTO only has a attribute level that is unique. That's not how you spell unique, but well, wait. But you need the name in there, ding dong. We need the name to pull it out of there. Copy so that we don't modify the global one. All the other one. Look at this put a little X in there. All the other ones that put the name in. We aren't putting the name in the DTO like the other ones. Oh yeah. What's the source of truth for the name? If name description are always coming from this, then we don't need to save them in the DTO because they always load incorrectly. When do we include the name? If you want to say the save file to be self-contained, so you can load it without relying on auto load, recommended structure. How are you knowing? How are you? Since attribute data already has a strong enum reference, we should save the enum as a string and then what? Just like we did with and then we pull it from this. Or were you having it recreate? No. Save the, yeah. Should I write the population loop update to handle the new DTO structure you didn't have to adjust for the dictionary conversion logic? Let's copy this thing. Once again, I just want shit to be consistent. It's too weird when you have to go back, player namespace, and some are different than the other. I don't know what this dog shit is. Get out of here. Why are you green today? Typo. What is it with a capital S? Yes. Get out of here. All right. I'm in the wrong thing here. Okay, so we have this. We're just leaving all this shit in here, all these comments that the whatchamacallit, the robot puts in. To DTO, we'll copy this. Now Dead Kennedys are playing. Man, it's going back to my youth here. Look at that. I guess it parses it the other direction when it does the enum.parse. That's when it's the from. And then we'll copy this. Can't believe it put a little X in there. And this is going to go here. Give us our thing. So we're gonna, this one's static, just like the other one from, where we're passing in a DTO, we're getting this. We're pulling this from all the attribute data. We're finding it. Is that what it did before? I don't think it did find. I think it did like that first default thing, didn't it? Yeah, well. Not, I don't have any open, so we're not going to worry about it. We'll figure out the issues when we run into them here. We'll get rid of this little X. Okay, so then back to our population data. It wanted to rewrite this, but let's say yes to it and see what it says. Yes, can you rewrite that part? I'm not even gonna fix that. Not that part. Not that part. Yes. Can you drop the from DTO into the population data? Once again, I'm talking into it like it's a human. Man, another hour has passed. Oh, it's gonna put the whole thing. So I did like tell it like multiple times, like show me all of it, like I said earlier, but then I'm tempted just to copy this whole thing over and put it in here. We've made a lot of changes though. I also feel like this should be in skill data, like where it makes these new copies. The same with this one. If we're gonna do a copy like that, it should just be in the data, and we can have new copy. because that's like an ongoing issue with Godot's resources. All right, I'm gonna take a quick break though. Let me throw out my break timer, and I will. Youth Brigade. That's another band from my youth. All right, let me throw this up. I'll be right back. Less than 5 minutes. Huh. That time it seemed like I was gone for too long, and I was gone less time than last time. Who knows how time works? It's a flat plane. It's a something. All right, my music has been restarted. I've double checked everything. Now I've double checked everything. Oh, I have a new goal. I don't know if that person was real though, because I actually can look. Oh no, that was just that person might have been real. Anyways, all right, what are we doing here? So I'm tempted just to copy this all over and see what it says. See what kind of garbage we've stepped into here. Look at this. Look at that. We're in population data. This is a lot. This is a lot. Return pop. Okay, so this... We do need to copy this over. So we don't... Some of this is... Did it break? What did our last DTO look like here? Oh, we're not all selected. I didn't go far enough back. There we go. Well, like activity was one. Let's just use our eyeball search for some reason. Is hero is a bool. Makes you want to just use simple variables from now on. Happiness. All right, we're gonna have to do a activity. Convert string to enum. So some of these it didn't do right. So this is, we're back to like whining about ChatGPTs. Oh. There we go. Weirdness. Let's not update this to that new thing, because then we're going to have to go through and fix more stuff. Let's do this instead. Let's just build this and see what happens. We probably can get rid of this population ID. It seems to be working. Let's see which one we have when I hit play. It's under run. Okay, so we have game generation, which is what we want. And I have that thing checked too. But to really test it, we need to delete. We need to clear the memory. This is more like it. This is more like it. Save game manager doesn't have an instance. I don't believe you. No, it obviously isn't there, but it's supposed to be in the auto load. Where are we? Globals. Let's see here. Load game. Not set to an instance of a... Oh, it's this that's... Oh, we don't have... This is the old thing. This is our old load game. I must not have copied it over. This can go completely. This too. We'll deal with updating this stuff later. Or, nah, we'll leave it in here just to remind me so I don't forget. We are going to have to be updating. Not this way, though. So actually, no, this can go. This can go. And save game to JSON. We never copied over the new save thing that it wrote. I thought we did, but I guess we were partially done, and then we got an error, and we were dealing with that. We were doing the save game, DTOs, save game, 2 DTO, Bora, 42, how's it going? Bora? Let's see. So we have the 2 and the from. And then we have the attribute data we fixed. We're going to have to search for here. It's save game. Here we go. We have this. No, this is really old. We have this DT. No. Yep. Godot with C#. .NET. Godot 4.5. I actually haven't looked in a while to see if there's a new version, but I guess it would have told me. I don't like being on the beta versions, but there was something that I was trying to see if they fixed, so I had to update. The beta versions are a little janky, a little more janky than normal. Yeah, so the other game, I also call it. So we gotta go a lot farther. What else could we search for here? We could search for use GameMaker. How do you like GameMaker? Somebody else came into chat like last weekend or something and was asking what they thought, or was asking had just started their game in GameMaker, and they was their first day, and they were gonna thinking about switching to Godot, and I don't know enough about GameMaker to be like, oh, this one's way better, but I obviously use Godot, so I like Godot. What do you think about GameMaker? Is it really all that much faster? It's a lot lazier using ChatGPT. It's a lot lazier, especially because some of this stuff I'm not 100% sure how to do, like these things. So I'd have to fuck around with it for a long time. So for me, it's probably definitely faster. So what the key with that is that when these stop working, because ChatGPT often is wrong, then I have to figure out how this works. You know what I mean? Like I have to learn how this works. This obviously is converting all of something. Converts all to another type. Population data. Oh, I see what it's doing. You know what I mean? Google Studio. You think Google Studio AI? I don't even know what that is. Is that new? Google Studio AI. Oh, the Gemini thing. Start exploring. Oh, is this the thing that I read an article about this morning? How many are there now? How many different bots are there? AI bots. You can use system descriptions for each. No, I'm not a programmer by trade. if I was, they should fire me. No, I'm just learning. I've been learning for a while now, a couple of years. But I also only do it on the weekends usually. Most of the time, I have another game that I work on. I actually have two other games. I'm kind of mostly abandoned that I work on. So yeah, it's a learning experience as I go along. Each thing, like what does this do? And one of the things, so I always mention this is I used ChatGPT a long time ago to do some pathfinding. And at that point, I was much newer to the whole programming thing, but it could not remember. It would argue with itself. And by the time I was done getting it to work, I had learned so much about pathfinding just because I would have to debug the garbage that it gave me. But I could ask it questions, and it would still, it would still answer the questions somewhat intelligently. So that would help me learn why are you doing this? That type of thing. All right, we're just gonna scroll through. Actually, no, it's gonna take too long. What is it that save version? That is probably a good thing to search for because that's somewhat new. Save version. Here we go. This is it right here. So we did this. And this is where we were at. I'm pretty sure. I think we did this part. Yep. And we have the from in there. And then this is the part that we needed to move over. Aline, are you a programmer by trade? And 42, same question 42 for you as well. I know that you said you're using Game Maker. What type of game are you making also? I'm always curious. So over here, this needs to be in Save Manager is where we're replacing this. I want to look at this real quick to see what I'm replacing. Okay, so we're just going to do this save game data. We can just copy and paste over this whole thing. I don't think we need, this is some other, these little check marks are weird. You can go. You can go. KD. All right, so this looks about the same. We can just hit play and see what happens. Little rusty. C#, GD script is their main thing. 1247. All right, let's take a look at this save file. Because there's a couple of things. I don't know why it's starting in the middle. Okay, so we got our save version, which is what... This is wrong. This is wrong. So this didn't work right. Wait, no, I take that back. These are right. Because we haven't gotten to the... So when we run this, so this is part of the the tear down that we're doing. When we run this one, we've only moved over faction generation. So the whole game used to just be in main, and we didn't have any save system. But for the save system, we also need to have the start menu and all that shit. So we needed all that generation stuff done before the game starts. So we gotta, do that. So we're moving things over. And so this is right with the population data. It would be at 0 because it hasn't been generated yet. And same with this current ID. And so this saved. I'll look at that link in 1 second here. Wait, did you use RPG Maker or Game Maker? Because that was another thing we were talking about. I'll look at this. Let's see here. Because RPG Maker, there's some controversy lately. This looks pretty good. Are these did you do these graphics? Hope it's okay that I'm showing your game off. It's for mobile because it's on Google. I'm gonna have to hire a graphic person, I think. Can I make this bigger? 280%. It's an RPG. Whoa. It's an RPG. I love RPGs. I don't play mobile games very frequently. I used to occasionally. Oh, that's cool. I think I've heard of that before for other countries too. You already got 100+ downloads. That's pretty cool. It's not available for my device. What are you talking about? I have an Android. That's pretty good. 100+. 100. You're from Brazil. You're from the Amazon rainforest. Let's see. I thought a few people live there, except for indigenous people. No, that seemed pretty good. 100+ downloads. There's a lot of games that we've looked at, have 2 downloads. So good job. Look, the graphics look good too. I mean, that's all I could look at. So I can't compare the rest. So you went from RPG Maker to Game Maker. What made you switch? All right, so we need to move over. Actually, no. Let's get the load thing to work first, because I think that it also rewrote this. Yeah, let's copy this over. It's still gonna throw errors, but let's do this. It looks like we're changing the name. And we're not going to have one save file. That's just currently for this testing. We're going to have, like a thing where they could pick from. But we're not going to do slots. So this part is no longer in use, it looks like. So let's comment this out temporarily. You're not going to jump over here for me. And does this new thing? Oh, we wrote a thing for this. Check for, oh, we don't even need this in here. Though we are going to have to change that. All right, then let's run it again. Yeah, with Portuguese, it's you have 2 countries usually to pick from. From the possibilities of here's our load game thing. Where people live. English is a lot of people say or load from. Spanish, a lot of people, a lot of different countries. Save manager. Did I make this private? Oh, we're gonna stick this in here. I mean, we could. I don't see why, though. Let's just make this public. Load game from JSON. I saw another thing. Oh, it was that. All right, good. And we're going to do generation, and we have that load game at start checkbox. Occasionally on Godot, you have to hit that play button twice. I think it's because you're selecting in. And then, wow, that took kind of a long time. All right, so we're to our first issue. And the first thing we have here is that this is empty. Which we knew was going to happen. So we're going to have to now move over some other stuff to the game generation. Yeah, load game at start. Yeah, we're going to have to move this. I was trying to think that if we would need this. We won't normally need this if you go through game generation, because all that stuff's going to be there. We'll save it, but you wouldn't need this. But right now we have load game at start, so it's testing it. But that did take kind of a while. So this is going to be some kind of brutal teardown of the whole system here. Again, still continuing. So the first thing we need to do is move this county generation over to game. Let's see what this thing has in it, though. Assign faction data to county data, assign county data to faction, update goods. Currently empty. What? Oh, I know what that's for. Let's just get it out of here. This was we're going to have it so that sometimes some factions, when they start, will have pre-built buildings to, like, because there's going to be a lot of randomness each time you play. But yeah, we'll just get rid of that thing. Where is this empty? It's not even, it doesn't even exist. Then we go through each county. And we set up this stuff. This is going to be the first problem that we're going to run into here. Assign starting goods to county. Wonder why I'm for eaching this. Why this isn't just a, why are we not for eaching each one of these things? All right, so this is the first problem. These things are created by the map editor. So when you do the map editor, you save the actual county parents, or sorry, not the parents, you save their children into this node right here. So it doesn't exist right now, but it's loading them from disk. So you like do the map editor, you hit save on the things, and it saves them right here. These actual scenes. And so, well, we can't look at it. Well, we can kind of look at it. Each one of the, if they would be color coded if it worked. Each one of these is saved as a scene and then loaded on top of this map. So this map is just a static map, and then these are like sitting on top of it. That's actually why this river doesn't exactly perfectly line up. It's too thick. This river worked pretty well. And how we fixed it, because we used to do that with factions too, but how we did it is we just got rid of factions from doing that. And we have a list of counties that's used, of factions and game generation. This, we do have the counties saved in here. This is their county information, like their info, their county data is in here. And this is like their, let's look at one of them. Yeah, that's their county data. Oh, it does have other stuff in here though. That's population list. Why isn't this shit in county data? Heroes in county, it has a bunch of shit in here. Wait, am I looking at the, no, holy shit. Wait, really? No, that's all in county data. I was like, what? No, that makes more sense. All right, so the only thing that's attached to this is county data. I mean, we have these other things, but these are, we'll use later. So I think we can pull, we can make a list of county datas from, now we're back to that thing though, where we have, the idea behind this was that it's easier as the developer if you can go in here and take a look at these and like look at the stuff. But this is another one. I think this is another one where the data doesn't show right. So maybe we'll get rid of this thing. Because now that I know how to use breakpoints, it also makes debugging easier for, we don't need to do so much looking at this stuff or attempting to look at it. All right, so let's do this. Let's move this over to our generation. And we'll add a new node. I think a node should work. And then we'll call this county generation. We'll attach this script. We're gonna, things are gonna be broken. Right off the bat, pretty much. We'll remove this over here. I mean, this had to be done eventually. We'll delete this one. we're going to move population generation over to faction color, random faction color. I wonder why this isn't its own thing. Why don't we put that in county generation? All right, we'll worry about it later. Sometimes I get like, I want things to be their own things. Man, I'm getting all sorts of like crazy old school punk rock on my list that you guys can't hear. I wish you could. So let's figure out this thing. What we need to do once again is in this auto load, we need to read these from disk. I'm glad I wrote this read resources from disk. It's making life a lot easier. This is kind of important. Where are we reading the faction? It must be in faction generation. We are. Oh, we're like creating. That's why I didn't switch this over there, because this is all weird. So then on county generation, where are we getting this data? Like, where does this? Oh, where does manually? Oh, right. So this is like with all these magic numbers and stuff. This is just for testing. We're gonna do it randomly eventually, but for testing we need things to be, you know, consistent and specific. And it used to be called Select County. I thought I had to rename this. So we're getting this from child of that list that already exists. So when does that thing get created? When do they get, because it's like in the main, it's blank right there, or it doesn't have any children, so it must get created at some point. It must be county loader. It is probably. Check map already generated. So we're instantiating the counties. We're county resources auto load. What the fuck is this thing? We're assigning the county to its own county data. I remember doing that and not liking it. And then if this doesn't work, it just quits. So it's getting the files. This is in globals for some reason. Oops, I didn't want to go there. What was that thing called? It's going to be a string. Here it is right here. We're going to have to do the county. We're going to leave the county loader in here. Yeah, we're going to leave the county loader in main, I think, and we'll have it load here. Yeah, so this one we can't get around just having a list because we need it. It's an actual scene that like the player looks at. The factions weren't a scene that the players looks at. It was just for like developer. So we couldn't get away from that. So let's do this instead. We're going to go back to auto load. This shit's going to take an eternity eventually. And I don't like that idea. We'll do, where did that thing go? We're going to copy this, even though I guess I could have just typed it in. Yeah, we'll put it right here. Honestly, it should go at the top. So should this one. I'm very much into like specific order for shit. So we'll do a public list, county data, all county data. We'll put this, where did I put this thing? We're now calling an improvement directory though. That is not consistent. We're gonna go private. Counties directory. This is consistent. Then down here, no. All county data. Gonna be a county data. And eventually, the map editor doesn't do it yet, but eventually we're going to make it so you can edit the counties in the map editor. Right now, you can't do it, but what we'll have is like if we have this open, we'll have it so you can edit some of this information, like their terrains and whatnot, not to make it, you know, like if you want. Am I open? Yes, I am open to small. It depends how you say it, honestly. It depends how you say it. Oh my god, my fucking cord got wrapped up in my chair leg again. Again. Always. Man, my other headset that I said was broken, I fixed. So I was gently re-putting this thing in and making sure it was perfect, and it wasn't working. And so I just went to just slamming it and as hard as I could, and after like 5 attempts, it just fixed itself. Okay. Back to this. So we're reading this counties. This is not in a folder, huh? Oh, this is not what we want. We want this to, no. We don't want to load this. We want to go here. Resources. Thank you for asking, by the way. It's rare that people ask if I'm open to. They just start kibitzing, I believe it's called. All right, so this should be resources. Here we go. So there's the 7 there. And we'll have these loaded into all county data. Whoops, there's like a weird space here. And so then for this county generation, let's go through each one of these. I guess we could just, so this is actually going to be, we can just change this. For each county data in auto load instance dot all county data. Get rid of this crap. All right, then let's just run it and see what happens. We can close this shit. And we already have that. I got 20 minutes left, huh? I feel like this stream at the beginning was going a little slow. And it can be, you have, right now you have a private string, path to res equals something. That means a variable which lives in memory can be modified by the class you put in it. But if you put something, constant string, oh yeah. I'm surprised it hasn't suggested that. The writer hasn't. Then compiler will know you don't want to change when the game is running. It would not create that variable in memory. Really? You just put the text in the program code, which is required. Small improvement. You don't change any. Okay, so I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna see what. So, and I think I understand what you're saying, but just in case I'm wrong. So for this, Writer is, whoops, not private, constant. It's usually constantly. Sorry. Constant. I crack myself up. No one else thinks I'm funny. It's okay. Writer is usually always telling me to do stuff, and I'm like, why am I doing this? So this is what you're talking about. But make this a constant because otherwise it keeps this in memory. And if it's a constant, it doesn't keep it in memory. And we're not create the variable memory. Just put text in the program code where it's, oh, okay. So when it's compiling, when Godot is compiling it, it's just going to swap this in wherever this variable is. But if it's a, it's going to swap whatever constant you have here, but it's going to swap this actually into wherever, right here. And then I didn't know that. Thank you. I didn't know that at all. I didn't even have an inkling. So what is this thing's problem, though? Rename to, it wants it just to be a capital. And constants are capitals? I thought they were like all capitals. Because I haven't used a constant in a long time. I used to use it for my text, but I've changed how I do text. So let's copy this. Yeah, usually writer's pretty hardcore. Let's actually get this space in here too to be ultra lazy. So all these will be the same. This thing too. And then we'll just do... it's interesting, I went from Visual Studio, not Visual Studio Code, but from Visual Studio to Writer, and the difference in what it suggested was pretty crazy. I don't know why there's a space between this one, but I'm going to leave it there because I think there's a reason I put that there. So I've been going with what Writer says, except for one thing I actually went in and adjusted. I forget what it was. It was like complaining about something weird, like some camel case thing, and I was just like, yeah. And well, yeah, it's free too, so I didn't want to switch to it until they switched it to like the free non-commercial version, which I'm not selling my game, so it's open source and whatever. Thank you. All right. This one is different, so I guess. Now, let's see. Did we run that? Let's run it again. It's not that big of a deal. And then we'll double check the JSON 2. Well, when it's done. We're going to double check this thing because it should now have some county info in there. Population, it doesn't. There should be, I think it's called counties. Well, it's not even finding that. I thought it was called counties faction owns. It's right there. Oh, I guess it's uppercase. Okay, something has gone wrong there, which is kind of expected as well. There's gonna be a lot of this we don't even need to look at this yet. Let's look at this, go back to this code here. Yeah, I actually really liked the switch from Visual Studio to well, this is a problem. I really like the switch from Visual Studio to Writer. I was a little apprehensive, and what actually happened, I was streaming, and I had already installed Writer like 6 months earlier than that, and I just hadn't tried it out yet. And then I was streaming, and Visual Studio just started grinding. Like I couldn't get it. Like I could type one letter, and then it would grind for 10 seconds and it would spit out the letter. I restarted it, and I'm streaming, so I can't restart my computer really without fucking up the stream. And so what I just was like, let's just try writer, and then I was like pretty happy with it. So this is gonna be an auto load. I'm putting it over here for a reason. All county data. I guess we'll do this. And once again, this is just for this weird thing. It's just for testing. This didn't work at all. This is gonna be county data. This is gonna be county data. This should be over here. We're going to, what are we doing here? We'll copy and paste. We'll just take these all and copy and paste them down here. One Douglas. Oh, this is the new pet peeve I have with Godot. It starts flashing sometimes down here, and it's just because this is running, and I wish it would not do that. I wish it would just shut the fuck up. Portland. I need to compare to these because of the magic number in there. Is why I'm doing it this way. One. Wait, what's your problem with county data? We can't call them all the same thing though. Let's fix these then, and we'll call it like Cowlitz or Tillamook for each one. 1-1, you're done. 2-1. Okay. Get out of here. 3. Really? 2-1? 3. Oh, those are different too. 4, 3. And this will all be randomized at some point. Not all of it. Not what the player can pick to start, but it's going to be randomized where what data they get. We'll have like faction data that's randomly generated and assigned to all of these. But like I was saying a minute ago, we need it consistent to start with for our testing. It just makes it a lot easier. So we just have this dumb shit here. We'll say Cowlitz. Cowlitz. We'll say Tillamook. Mook. Tillamook, like where the cheese comes from. You guys are like, what are you talking about? It's where I get the ice cream too. There's I don't know if it's everywhere, but there's Tillamook cheese and stuff, and it's what I get here at the grocery store is the Tillamook, and it's right here on the map. Oh, we're not running it. Can we get that far? It's actually a different. We can't get that far. Of course we can. It's right here. It's actually not exactly on my game map here. It's not actually right. Wasco and Harney. I was, the other day we were talking about this magic number garbage here, and I was thinking about it like it was like a Sunday or something, so I had all week to think about it. I was like, you know what? We'll just do random stuff when I get like on next Saturday. I'll just go through and we'll make a random faction thing where it actually creates the random factions. And I was like, yeah, that'll be so fun because that type of shit is fun. And then I was like, you know what? We got to get this save game stuff working first. It would just throw more chaos into what we're working on here. All right, so that's rocking and rolling there. Let's hit play and see what our next issue is. We're gonna have to. Oh, we still haven't done this status label. I would really like the status label to work. We'll probably have to do like a wait, for like have it wait 5 frames between each thing so that it doesn't flash by. Let's see where we have the same we have the same issue here. This should now be in auto load instance dot all county data. This is gonna be county data. This is gonna be county data. This is gonna be get out of here. This is gonna be get out of here. Save. Run again. I know that there's 4 there, but eventually, we could have gone to the next one, but almost at a time here. What do we got here? Same thing. I should have copied that and had it on my clipboard. Yeah, I'll do it this time. Because we're going to run into this a bunch of times because of the way we were doing it before. I had a feeling that some of that we might be passing in a county, not just a county data. What do you want? Why do you want a county? You don't really. I mean, that's what we passed in, but you don't really need that shit. This is the classic looking at my old code. And when I look at my old code, I am always like, what the fuck am I doing here? Why did I do it that way? Yeah, I'm surprised chat hasn't mentioned the constant thing before. Maybe they have, and I've just not been paying attention. Why are you having a problem with this? Object not set to an instance of an object, huh? We're passing in a county data here. We're for eaching through this is a no, this is just like a I was gonna say this is a dictionary, but no, this is just an int or some shit. Yeah, it is. It's just an int. Let's clear this and do this again. Occasionally, I feel like Godot's errors are dated. And also, did I hit play twice? Because sometimes you gotta hit play twice. And it's easier just to double check. Okay, it was not. That was not the case. So this is going to be, yeah, county data. Global instance. Oh, the problem is globals doesn't exist at this point. I don't think it does. No, globals exist only here. So now we're back to that weird, we have to make a decision on where we're moving this stuff to. I want it all in one spot. So this is like the game variables. And for balance, we're going to be messing with these constantly. This is going to be a constant thing. And that's the same with this max, wherever the fuck it went. This max scavengeable food, we've actually fucked with that. Just like it's a minor thing we've actually messed with a ton of times. So I could put it in auto load. I'm not a big fan of that though. I'm trying to keep this kind of broken, kind of as slim as possible, we'll say. Let's look at faction generation because I think I moved some stuff over here. No, I would be wrong. I did not move some stuff in here. So where did I stick that? Is there really no variables? We didn't use any for faction generation? I have a hard time believing that. Maybe we got around that somehow. All right, this isn't that big of a deal. This is done, I think. Oh, no, we need this for the other thing. Oh, we can put the thing on it. It probably doesn't like the export on here, which I actually am fine with. So I guess we need to have, let's look at our, because there was another thing that was being loaded over here. Let's look at this thing. What is in here? Oh, here's another one of these. I like the S at the end, but all right, I'll get rid of it. Sometimes you can't get a little chuckle. What is this? Oh, we could. This needs to all be changed. This is old. This is very old. This needs to use the resource loading method in auto load. We can just pull that. We already have it actually. It's already loaded actually. Oh, we can't instance it though? Oh, I didn't have a... I probably have to static it? Public... Oh, you can't instance those? All right, well, let's put it back for now. We'll deal with it later. Oh, except let's do it this way. I don't want to get too sidetracked. That's what, like one of my biggest weaknesses here is to get sidetracked by things. This is not where I want to be. So I just got to make a decision. How much time do we got? 20 seconds. Okay. I guess I'll leave this for next time. Let's push this code because we actually did a ton of shit. A ton of shit. It says I changed that, but I don't think I did. It was probably just because I opened it. We created a bunch of DTOs, and updated saving and loading. Started moving county generation to game generation. Started, get out of there. Started the move of, we will commit. We're on this DTO branch. It's going to ask us about our to-dos, which we are going to skip. How big was this final file? 53 kilobytes. Whoa, what was this? The other one was 400. Okay, not that big. I don't know why I'm so worried about it. It's gonna get gigantic though. And then we're gonna raid somebody here. Let me check my list. Let me pause my music and let me go to our raid channel panel. And we're going to go same category. And do we have anybody? Are we following anyone? Created by Critters is streaming again. Who was it? Digital? I don't remember that guy. I don't remember either of those people. We rated Created by Critters yesterday. Maybe we should rate him again. Just because normally I don't stream on Fridays, and I'm also just being lazy. We'll just rate him again. That's what we'll do. We'll go over here. Bring this over here. But thank you guys for joining me. Yeah, no problem. I know I'm saying your name wrong, Aline. No problem. And have a good day, everyone. And thank you for the tip. And I will talk to you tomorrow. Maybe we'll get done with the bug DTO crap tomorrow. No, we won't. It won't be this week. It'll be next week. Whoops, I did the thing again. I forgot to click the button. And then we have the countdown, and we have to sit here and look awkwardly at each other until the countdown ends instead of me doing my outro. Now, all right. Thank you guys for joining me. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.